Let's put all of this together now. Let's talk about the global impacts of the U.S. economy. I'm joined live from Seattle by Saruhan Hatipoglu. He is a CGTN Global Economics Analyst. I spoke to someone who's a Republican who said, look, you got to look at what's happening with this economy. It's going like crazy, gangbusters, up 3%, and that's without the tax cut going into effect. Is he right? Are we seeing a Trump bump, so to speak, with the economy?
Well, yes, I think by some measures, Mike, it is true that the economy is doing well, and the stock market performance is a good example of that. But I think whether he's done a good job or not on the economy with his economic policies, I think we need to define what the definition of the word good is. If we mean by good that providing short-term hope for consumers while ignoring long-term impact on the economy, if good means the stock market performance, like I said, no pun intended, trumps all efforts to address long-term structural problems in the economy. If good means sacrificing core economic principles and safeguards to make sure we get short-term gains, oh yeah, he's doing a good job. I would say he's doing an awesome job, actually.
Consumer confidence is up, and yet we see what the potential of perhaps a trade war with China in the offing. We see what we just heard from Al about NAFTA. How do we square those two?
Well, there are conflicting issues. You're absolutely right. But this consumer confidence index is up because of a variety of factors. We have jobs growth in this economy, 87th straight month that we've seen this. And 12 months of that belongs to President Trump. That's been going for a while. We mentioned the stock market and also the tax cuts. Corporate and individual tax cuts pushed consumers to purchase big-ticket items, and that's contributed to consumer confidence. But there are long-term concerns here, Mike. If usually you give a fiscal stimulus like this when there's a recession in the economy. This economy has been growing for 8 straight years, and this much of a stimulus can cause inflation to rise faster than expected, prompting the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates faster than expected, and that is detrimental to the economy.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that, because these tax cuts geared towards corporations, and many say the wealthy, historically, they really haven't worked to raise wages for the middle class. So what can we expect in this next year, do you think?
They haven't raised wages, and wages will rise because there are some good things happening, but not because of the tax cuts. Look, we've seen this movie many times before. It's called trickle-down. It is called supply-side economics, and it's failed over and over and over again. We need to focus as to why wages are not rising, Mike. That's the issue here. And that structural issue is not addressed. We have an aging population with baby boomers leaving the market, job market, with new people coming in, and those new people aren't getting paid as much as the people who are leaving. Demographic issue, that needs to be addressed. There's competition. Companies cannot easily raise prices to earn revenue unless you're an Apple or an established company that distinguished itself. So these are the issues that need to be addressed, and the tax cuts, unfortunately, they're not permanent. They're going to be phased out at some point, and consumer spending is going to be affected negatively because of that too.
Saruhan, we've only got about 30 seconds, but what about these coal mine jobs that he promised would come back, some of the jobs that he promised would come back to the economy?
Well, there will be some jobs coming back because there's going to be investment coming into the... One good thing that he did, I have to give him credit for, is prompting these multinationals to get cash from overseas into this economy. And that's happening, and that is going to create certain jobs, absolutely. But what kind of jobs will they create? Is this administration taking notice of AI, robotics, automation, all of these things? I don't see any policies geared towards that. So any gain will be, in my opinion, temporary.
Saruhan Hatipoglu joining us from Seattle. Thanks so much.